Episode 2. We here. Talk about this NFC AFC Championship games today. A little review in the week of basketball, high school basketball. Talk about a little bit of everything. Got my guy coming in.
I'm in.
What up?
What up, man? Happy Sunday, man. Happy snowy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Everybody out there, hope everybody's safe.
Yep.
Number one, there ain't, a lot of babies can be made around this time,
yes.
in this little bit of weather. It wasn't that bad, but, some people was shacked in on purpose. You know how that is, it's going to snow.
Oh, it's going to snow. Keith, it's going to snow.
Yes, sir.
You want to stay over for the night, Mirror? Mirror
crazy.
Right.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man, we here. We're going to talk about it. Oh, my fault. Give you my co-host.
Yes, sir.
Mr. KC Osborne, the only Clippers fan in America.
Thank you.
Lucky
You're far
him.
too kind. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Lucky him.
Well, I definitely got to say what's up to Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Larry, one of the dopest point guards I ever played with, and also the only Detroit Pistons fan I've seen on the East Coast.
Hey, I appreciate that. I'm a loyal person. Loyalty means everything to me, brother. Loyalty means everything. That's why we're perfect combination.
Exactly.
We both in exile for a minute.
Listen, man, we're just loyal to teams that let us down all the time. That's all.
No doubt, man. Loyalty means a lot nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. So what we gonna be talking about today, man? We're gonna be talking about a little bit of the AFC, NFC Championship games. We're gonna talk a little bit about last week. I know we're a little bit behind.
That's all right.
We gonna get back to that. How they got to this point. A little basketball review for the week. Especially the Lakers blunders the last couple days without LeBron.
Oof, Jesus.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I think he's. Speaking of which, I heard this is what a little birdie told me, thanks to Bleacher Report. Shout out to Bleacher Report. They said he's going to be out indefinitely. I don't like that word. I don't like that word because that's the same word that's with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Indefinitely.
See, that's bad in LA terms. In Clippers words, that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? In Clippers terms, you hear that, it's like my season's over.
Don't start,
season's
man.
Over.
That's all right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't wish the same for Cade Cunningham, who's coming along quite nicely now.
He's starting to get there. I call myself watching like a quarter or two of the game. I haven't got a chance to.
You're one of them.
Yeah, I can't watch the whole game. No,
Jesus,
no, I can't.
You mean even if they get blown out or something like that? If they're getting blown out, do you change the channel?
I watch. I love basketball, right? I love my Pistons, but I see a whole bunch of the same person on my team, so I don't have no variety for me to be like, oh, all right.
Oh, that's a great politically correct answer, and I love it.
Most definitely.
But you still not answering the question. We did what you're called deflecting. So
that's what it's called.
That's exactly what it's called. My question is
that's blasphemy.
My question to you, Larry, is if you see your team getting blown out, do you change the channel?
Do I get a chance to watch it? Is the thing.
I mean, it's like, okay, say they're getting blown out by like 30 in the third quarter or something like that.
No, because there's nothing I can get to. What I'm gonna point out in it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
If me analyzing the game and me analyzing my team, I can't seem to find a way to I watch all the Sixers games because we home. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to hear that.
But but I mean shit, better than what you doing over there. But
well, we come back and win. But go ahead.
I can analyze that. I can analyze those games because it's like we right there. You see what I'm saying? Of course. They in the mix of everything. So I'm sitting there when I try to watch a Pistons game. Once it starts getting ugly, it's like it ain't no good can come out of that.
Why not? Just sit there and watch it. The game's not over.
Oh, you can't because there's so much other TV.
Well, listen, Larry. A wise young lady told me. Shout out to the OG Tracy Johnson. A wise young lady told me is the game is not over until it reads all zeros in the fourth quarter. Anything can happen.
Okay, so I turn it on when the game is over. I turn it back just to see what the end of the results were. But that's why we here. We are today's SC. We are Uptown's SC. You know what I'm saying? We are in the basement. You're in the basement. You know what I'm saying? With Mr. Next Step and Mr. KC.
Yeah,
we're gonna we're gonna work it out. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we here for, to have fun, talk about these things. But we are gonna consistently go at it about these Clippers and these Pistons.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
We're definitely gonna talk about the Sixers because that's home.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
You know what I mean? And we're gonna get into a little bit of stuff with the other teams. But you in the basement, comment. Go to the YouTube page, subscribe. Everything is at the top of the screen where you can subscribe to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Comment. We're gonna be taking some calls today, more than likely. So you have everybody's input. You comment. If your comment is strong enough for us to, bring up, it gets posted up here. You know what I'm saying?
If not,
we're gonna talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Everybody jump on in. Everybody jump on in. You know what I'm saying?
Jump on in, guys. The pool water is warm, so jump on in.
Most definitely.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna recap of last week's awesome, and I mean awesome, playoff weekend. Now
I can say this year's playoffs been must watch TV.
Yes,
and it's the
absolutely
most I can actually say I watch a lot of football, but this week it was like don't take your eyes off of the TV.
Yeah,
because everything was going on. Everything was going down. Field goals, last minute drives, overtimes, everything from everybody, which was the best part about it. You know what I mean? Even shout out to the Eagles. Shout out Eagles. I mean, they made the playoffs even though everybody was screaming, we weren't supposed to be here. But
stop that.
But I don't even want to go there with that. But with Jalen Hurts, what he done this year, possibly, everybody trying to get off of him, but it was entertaining. They didn't get smoked.
Yeah, they really did.
What I'm saying? They didn't get smoked. He could have played a whole lot better, but they didn't get smoked. But the whole playoffs just been crazy. It's been something to watch. And this leading up to this weekend is even far and beyond even what's possible that could happen more.
We got so many predictions and so many, variables that can dictate the outcome of the game, like just like last week. And I'll just go over a quick recap of the AFC divisional playoff round. Now from last Saturday? Last Saturday, the Bengals and the Titans played. The Bengals won 19-16. That was a barn burner too as well.
Man.
Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Henry came back.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Henry came back and played.
But it wasn't enough. Although he scored a touchdown, Joe Burrow was quietly, in a loud way, going about his business with 348 yards, 1 touchdown. He got sacked 9 times.
Listen, he did all 340 of those yards on his back.
Pretty much.
Pause. He was laying on his back. The whole game, he was just looking up at the ceiling. Like, it was crazy, but to see his poise in the pocket, even though being hit 9 times, sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
It was just like, you see the growth in him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? At the injury, even his rookie year was pretty decent until he got hurt. Give or take. But he looked like he had something. And with him getting sacked 9 times and for them to win that game, his stance in the pocket, hitting, when I say target practice on crossing routes, I was just like, yo.
Preach.
The kid's showing something.
Yeah.
Showing something major.
And, and Jamar Chase was clutch. He came up super clutch. He had 5 receptions, 109 yards, no touchdowns. But he had a clutch catch.
Cross the middle.
Cross the middle. Dude,
and the sensibility to get out of bounds. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some people don't have the
that wiseness. Yep. Yeah. CJ had 7 receptions for 71 yards.
Yep.
T. Higgins had what? 7 for what?
96.
96.
That's not bad, man. It's not bad. That means the ball was going around. Now, unfortunately, you got to have a loser in this game, and
most definitely.
Ryan Tannehill had a pretty good game. He had 220 yards. He had 1 touchdown. He threw 3 interceptions though, and he got 1 sack lunch. So
yeah, it was almost like watching Ryan Tannehill, what everybody had been saying about him for the longest.
Yeah, like you were like I knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of point. It was just when. Just when was he going to start turning the ball over? But then then we got to give a shout out to King Derek, King Henry. King Henry came back and scored a touchdown, 62 yards rushing. AJ Brown, 5 receptions, 142 yards, 1 touchdown. Julio Jones, 6 receptions, 62 yards.
And he had a big catch too.
Julio,
a real big catch.
He was looking like Atlanta Julio out there.
Yeah, he had a real big catch out there.
Yeah. So then we go over to the NFC divisional playoff round, which also happened right after that game. San Fran 13, Green Bay 10. That was a game of field goals.
Man, listen,
field goals and safeties.
But when I say tactical, that game was like one mistake here, bad pass here, a turnover there, couple like, oh, why he do that?
That's it.
It was all there. It definitely was all there. And it was a barn burner to the end. And defense wins championships, man.
That they did, man. That they did.
You know what I'm saying? Field goal after field goal. And Jimmy Garoppolo put them boys in some bad situations there.
Hey, Jimmy G, man. But you know what the crazy part, Larry? Like Jimmy G, from what I've been hearing, and we'll get into that a little bit later down on the podcast, like Jimmy G has been the talk of the town, man. Like people are like really starting to love some Jimmy G.
But see, the thing is, he took them to a championship before, and it's like once you reach that echelon where people look at you to the point where it's like, he got to give us more. So it's you're never going to be at this because you ain't been there. You only you keep tapping the top of it, climbing the hill. Then you just had this, you drop.
Right.
And that's what Jimmy G been doing. When he's at the Patriots, what made him the catch is when Brady went out. They said, why put Brady back in? Grop was balling.
You said Jimmy G.
Contract. He got the big contract. Yeah, he got the big contract. Went downhill.
Yep.
Then he got traded. Got a big contract. Took him to the championship. Then started being Garoppolo. Like not to say being Garoppolo, but things happen.
He went from Garoppolo to Jimmy G. That's what happens. Yeah. When you start playing like your alter ego, like Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, all right, that's when you start having problems. Like that. I'm Ocho Cinco. I got the list and this and that. Like, okay, all right. Well, wait till you meet this. Wait till you meet the Jets in the playoffs. Shout out to my Jets.
right. Yeah, you're Jets. You just bad, but yeah.
I know we right. We good.
That's like Antonio Brown to AB. You know what I'm saying? And Terrell Owens to To.
That's right.
It's that second life.
What was the quarterback's name who made it to the Super Bowl for the Bears that year when Lovie Smith was the coach? What was it? Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
But what was his nickname? T-Rex. Then he went from Rex Grossman to T-Rex, and that's how he lost the Super Bowl. So also other notables: Elijah Mitchell rushing for 53 yards. George Kittle, 4 receptions, 53 grown man yards.
And I wish we had how many targets he had on there because
I'll put that on next time. I got you.
We need to figure out how many targets he actually had during that game because he had a couple drops too.
That was like in the first half though.
Yeah, he had a couple of drops in that first half. They was key drops though. They was key drops. There's key drops, but that was when everybody kept saying that the ball might be getting to them because it was cold and they had to adapt to it that first half because there was like a lot of key drops from all the receivers and stuff like that.
Well, also keep in mind, Larry, too, that you're playing the Lambeau Field. Like, there's something with that.
Yeah,
they're playing in that Lambeau Field. There's something like certain teams like they don't play good in there for some odd reason. It's just like when you go like when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes or Arrowhead or something like that. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna get fried out there. But I mean,
at the same token, listen. At the same token, you're a football player. You've been playing it. I mean, Lambeau is a whole different type of code. Don't get me wrong.
Say it again.
But you are a football player,
right?
And you got to.
You should know this by now, right?
Exactly.
You adapt. You know this by now.
Definitely have to adapt.
On the other side, unfortunately, the great Aaron Rodgers took this L. 225 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Go ahead, talk to me.
So do we say great still?
Yeah.
One championship, one NFC championship.
I mean, you could put a lot of like quarterbacks up there too.
Yeah.
What about Big Ben? Is Big Ben great?
Ben got 2 championships.
Is he great though?
Ben got 2 championships though.
Okay.
So you have to argue it.
Okay. I mean,
Ben got 2 championships, and he got 1, and he's supposed to be the best. Like he can throw the football, man. Like
yeah, you got it. He has a cannon.
But the big games.
You think so? Because Aaron Rodgers has been pretty clutch. Like
he's been clutch, and he has 1 championship.
Yeah.
How clutch is that?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to have our callers call in on that one.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to because
I know my man Sean Reagan out there. He's a big Green Bay. He's a big Green Bay fan, and I know
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
they got Green Bay fans in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I will say, like, you know, some people when they come off the top of the head, you know they loyal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he's one of those Green Bay fans that's Green Bay'd out, and I think he has something to say about that.
Solid. Can't wait to hear from you, Sean. Also notables: Aaron Jones, 41 yards rushing. Also, he had 9 receptions for 120 yards, and Devontae Adams had 90 yards. Moving on to the next day in the divisional playoffs rounds, the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a good one. Yes,
most definitely.
Cooper Kupp have a game.
Listen, Coop. That's all these streets. Coop. Like my man Wes called me from my dad's side of the family is Cooper or Coopers, but Wes called me Coop. But Coop is Triple Crown. The Triple Crown, brother.
When Stafford threw that pass over his shoulder into the bread basket, I was like, that's a wrap. That's a total wrap.
OBJ.
Yeah.
Hands. You can't deny this man's hands, man. Mm-hmm. You cannot deny this man's hands. That touchdown in the corner. Mean.
Yeah. When he's Odell Beckham Jr., he's good. He's good.
Mm-hmm. When the OBJ, he's the
first. OBJ, he starts turning into a unicorn.
The alter egos, man.
The alter egos, man. Something wrong with it. That's why I was never, coming up, I was never cool with nicknames and stuff like that. Right. Call me K-Hova. No, that's not my name. My name is Kenneth. My name is Kenneth Osborne Jr.
You hear that name?
Yeah.
You hear that name and you right back going. Oh, I gotta be that person now.
And then somebody might hear who the boy K-Hova? That's what they call you? Then they're gonna try their best to try to shut me down or something like that. So Matthew Stafford had 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 sack lunches. Cam Akers rushed for 24. He had 24 carries for 48 yards. Mm-hmm. Coop, 9 receptions, 183 yards, 1 clutch. Excuse my French. 1 clutch, a touchdown.
Well, I will say about those stats is the Cam Akers thing has to be a whole lot more this week. They're gonna have to put a whole lot of trust in him because Matthew Stafford had in that game kind of was like, had some iffy time. He had a couple of stretches there when he was trying to put a fine-tooth comb in something that couldn't happen. So with them not being able to rush the ball, without them being able to rush the ball the way they need to, it put a lot of weight on his shoulders. And we already know that Matthew Stafford playoffs is just like
well, I mean, listen, man,
he's showing something different.
He really is.
He played this behind off. He definitely played this behind off, and TB was TB.
Yeah, the Surgeon General was the Surgeon General. 329 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Oh yeah, by the way, 1 bloody mouth too.
Oh yeah,
they put him right on the ground on that one. Boom, boom.
Did he bite his own lip?
I think he bit his own lip.
Okay,
but I think somebody made him bite his lip though. They might have hit him in his jaw, made his jaw shut. Bow, take that. And you feel some type of way when he takes blood in your mouth and stuff like that. You're like,
for sure. For sure. Cause that don't go nowhere. You all like this the rest of the game.
Yeah. Or if your tongue is bleeding, that won't be stinging. Can't eat no salty foods, no French fries for 2 days.
None of that.
The Leonard Fournette also rushed for 51 yards with 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Fournette, one of my favorite Madden players. The great Mike Evans, the pride and joy of Texas. 8 receptions, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Gronk also had 4 receptions, 85 yards.
85 yards.
And Leonard Fournette also had 56 yards. He had like 9 catches. Yes, now let's get down to the real one. Divisional playoffs rounds in the AFC.
Buffalo
Kansas City,
36,
Buffalo.
Kansas City 42.
Talk to me,
which
Larry.
I
Talk to
say, man, oh man.
Is that an instant classic? Like, remember when ESPN Classic was on? Is that an instant
I
classic?
have to go and apologize graciously to Josh Allen
And the Bills Nation.
and Bills Nation, for those who are Bills fans out there, because I
Can't find them.
I had a little like, Josh Allen is like, is he the Garoppolo on that border of can be, and
Like, when you mentioned the greats. Yeah.
that man made me a believer. He has it. When I say he has it, he has it.
Yeah.
His demeanor didn't change. It was just like, oh, we get the ball back. We get what we got to do. And he was making it happen.
Lasers.
When I say lasers, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns. He got sacked twice, which is not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Playing against Kansas City, you're going to get touched eventually.
He made up for it. He made up for it for running 68 yards.
And then he had 68 yards rushing.
Listen, I like when he runs because he runs. He doesn't. Okay, he knows. He knows when to slide and when to run.
It's the baseball effect. It's that baseball effect. He has that baseball effect in him. But yeah, he did. Yeah, that running style. He looks comfortable doing it. Yeah. Then he was taking on defenders. I was like, oh, slide, get out of bounds, bro. He like, no, boom. I need this 1 yard.
And he gives him the first down. And he gave him the first, the first down celebration. Take that.
Yep.
You know what that says to your defense? It says screw your defense. That's what it means. That's what I'm saying.
I don't respect you. I don't respect you.
And
1-on-1, I'm a quarterback and you're a D-back.
Yes,
I got you.
I got this.
I got this.
And if we're if we got 4th down and 5, and I'll run through.
Because there was a couple RPOs he took, and I was like, "Why you ain't let that man take that football?" And he kept it in his pocket. I was just like, "Oh gosh,
like this can't be good."
Right. Devin Singletary had 68 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Davis had 8 receptions for 201 yards and 4 touchdowns, bro.
Stop it.
When I say it seemed like he just was open the whole game.
If I ever get a chance to interview him,
at the right times.
Yeah. It wasn't like just, hey, I'm open. It was just more of like, get open. Get open in the back,
very much so.
On the corners, stuff like that. Now Kansas City, got to pay the respect to Mr. Mahomes. We're my homies.
Hold on 1 second. Cole Beasley, 6 receptions for 60 yards. Doing his regular Cole Beasley, and Devin Singletary also had 4 receptions for 25 yards.
That's right.
So he almost had 100 yards all purpose.
Jesus.
And we'll talk about the rest of the game after we get over these Kansas City.
Yeah. Now Patrick Mahomes had 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. In 2 seconds. How did he get sacked twice? I want to know.
But the 378 was spectacular, man. Spectacular.
Rushing, he rushed for 78 yards, 1 touchdown. So, wow. My math serves me correct. That's over 400 yards for all purpose.
Yes, sir.
Man. Let me see. McCole Hardman, 31 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 60 yards. Tariq Hill. Hilaire? Is that Hilaire?
Yeah, it's Hilaire.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you, Hilaire. Let me say that again. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Thank you. Tyreek Hill had 11 receptions, 150 yards.
And a peace sign.
And a taunting.
And the peace sign.
Was that taunting, though?
Man, dog. He'll make me want to jump all sides and just whack him one good time. We'll get him across that middle, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Crazy.
Travis, Travis also again never disappoints. 8 receptions, 96 yards, 1 super clutch touchdown. Super clutch.
Back shoulder.
Woo! Catch it, go against the grain. Catch it.
Listen. You got to practice it, man.
There's only like certain quarterbacks who actually can throw that. Like,
chemistry
correctly.
is a mug, man.
Yes.
Chemistry is a mug.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Also, Byron Pringle, 5 receptions, 29 yards, 1 touchdown. Your take on the game, on the Buffalo Kansas City game.
On the out of it.
Yeah.
This overtime thing is a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. I mean, one aspect of me say, yeah, I mean, you should have stopped them, whatever. But for them not to get another opportunity to have the ball in their hands after they scored on the first possession,
right?
Just like, and it's almost like saying that you just gave them an extra few minutes on the fourth quarter. So instead of it being 15 minutes, you gave them 22 minutes. And if you stop them, it's just the end of the game. But
would you blame them? I mean, would you blame? If that's the case, shouldn't that be on Buffalo? Because
yes,
they had the lead for like 13. They had the lead 13 seconds. And my thing is, I looked at the clock. I'm like, all right. I try.
Listen, I try not to think about that 13 seconds because all I can think about is the star that's on his helmet, and I'm just like, clock management, wherewithal of what to do, how to get things done in that little bit of time. But Buffalo, my opinion, should have swivel kicked on that kickoff. You get some of that time off of that clock, so you get rid of 3-4 seconds, 2-3 seconds. Now you have a short amount of time. Once they do get the football, because more than likely all Kansas City was going to do was just lay on the ball once the swivel kicked, or if the person taking the kick didn't think and start running, you got a couple more seconds off of that. But for them to kick it out of bounds and just stop the clock completely and give them all the time that they needed, I thought that was a kind of a Mike McCarthy move.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to Mike McCarthy, Mr. Game Clock Management
on that one.
Really?
I don't.
Well, we don't want him as a coach either, so we're good. We got we got Robert Schley. We're good with that.
Give me Tony Romo.
Tony?
Yeah.
Tony's gonna come out the booth?
I don't know. Sean Payton, somebody, but this ball.
Maybe Sean Payton.
You can't.
I can see Sean Payton doing it. He's a quarterback coach.
Can't make stuff up that he was doing. But your take on the Kansas City game?
I mean, definitely, I'm not the biggest football fan, but I mean, I know what's going on, and I loved it. I mean, even to the casual football fan, even to a person who's not even a football fan, they were still getting excited because I mean, that's all the talk was. When I went to work, like,
can't hear you. Your sound went out. My man might have mic issues. You having mic issues? Your signal probably bad. Log out and then come back in. Yeah, but Kay was talking about the issues with Kansas City and the. Here you go. Let's see if get them back in. Yo,
here.
Yeah, you back.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, with that, it was just like that was like the talk of like the whole week. Like, did you see that game? Like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and this and that. So I'm like, yeah, that was good. That was definitely an instant classic, man. Like that should be played like for the rest of until the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, that's perfect segue. What are your predictions? What are your predictions for today? Give me yours, and I'll give you mine.
I would like to see something new.
Okay,
I'll just leave it at that. And when we say something new, we talking about maybe Rams and Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if Mahomes get there, so it is what it is. But I'd rather have something new, especially with that kid Joe Burrow, man. Like I'm liking liking what I see out of him.
Wow.
But I'd rather see something new. I'm tired of the same teams repetitively. Not that it's, you know.
You tired of seeing Patrick in there? I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I
all
like
right.
Mahomes,
All
but
right. There it is. There it is.
I'd rather have something new. What about yourself?
Me, myself, and I would say I'm going to go Chiefs over Bengals and the 49ers over the Rams. That's going to be my upset special. That's going to be the Battle of California. Plus, you know, the 49ers, like every time they played the Rams, they beat them like 6 out of like 7 times. So
yeah, but you know, it's always that one time.
That's true. But you know what it is? It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like the way, and we're going to get into this when we talk about basketball too. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's just like the way that the 49ers play against the Rams. And
they up for it. It's like a rivalry.
Right. And like, you know, they want it. Like they, you know, like the Rams are like kind of like the glitzy glamour, the guys with the nice looking sneakers and stuff like that. They coming out doing the pretty layups with their, you know, with their girlfriends out there cheering them on and stuff like that. Whereas the 49ers are that team. We don't got the best
business suits.
Listen, we coming out there, we're smacking you in the mouth, we're fouling you, we're beating you up and stuff like that. We're playing physical. And I think if the 49ers play their cards right and they kind of like start jamming OBJ up at the line and get him frustrated and he starts yelling and screaming at Matthew Stafford, that's going to play a part. Then also what they have to do is slow down Cooper Kupp. It's hard to do.
That was my next thing I was going to say. Like, if you're going to do all that, you damn sure know that you're going to have somebody over the top on Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, or rough him up a little bit.
Because if you jamming one of them, you got to have somebody on that backside in case they beat that jam. So you're taking out exactly. So you're taking out another defender in the back, the D-backs, to be on top of it. Hopefully Ramsey don't get lackadaisical like he did last week.
Yeah, don't do that.
And gave up that touchdown when all game long when somebody else make a mistake, all you see is him flaring his hands, and then you make the most crucial mistake during that game and let your man beat you, which happens to everybody. Stephon Diggs played well this season, but he got burnt a few times. Y'all not on that Deion level, but y'all getting there. But the people are just not throwing over there, but they going at y'all now.
Oh yeah, they definitely gonna go at you.
He got lackadaisical with that and gave up that touchdown, and that really, put them in a funk right there. They had to really pull them out with that.
Especially if you're a good cornerback, like they're gonna pick on you. Like you're not like a Dion or a Revis or something like that. Like you have like
early Revis.
Yeah, give me early Revis. You can give me early Revis.
And I can side with little Patrick Sherman a little bit in the first few years, But
before we started talking,
then
we started
talking, then they start going at
frying them. Oh, word.
Now you getting angry and stuff, right?
You know you're getting burned when like when they see you matched up by yourself with your cornerback and you start waving your hand, you start waving your hand to your cornerback, yo, look who I got, So
right.
Moving on this week in the NBA. NBA was pretty good this week. A lot of comebacks, I definitely enjoyed it. First topic. I mean, this is an on and on. I'm beating a dead horse, but the ongoing saga of Ben Simmons. Like, where's he going?
How about let's do that part, because I got a feeling we both gonna have a whole lot to say about that.
All right.
And let's just move on to the games, and then we go to that issue.
We can do that. Well,
then we could talk about the injuries and stuff like that with people being on the trade.
Gotcha.
Could be on trading block.
No problem. Yeah. Now, also, what's been happening too as well? Jason Tatum is back.
50 burger.
50 burgers.
He had a 50 burgers.
Yep, 51 to be exact. Unfortunately, he dropped that 51 on the Washington Wizards. They can't win for losing this week.
Listen, they've been so up and down. It is crazy. They started off hot, and then they just had this cold spell. Then they started to warm up a little bit more. Then they started having the trade rumors talking. That Jaylen Brown started playing well. Then they started saying about the bickering inside of the. And then Smart step up and being the leader that he is, and try to resolve all that. And then they go back, they crash and burn again, and then they try to come back up. Yeah. So yeah, it's a whirlwind over there. in Boston right now.
Yeah, but it seems like they're coexisting though.
I mean, they coexisting.
They have to.
They definitely making it happen, but it's just like they just for some reason every time when you watch them play, it's like you're gonna get good basketball, but you don't know what the outcome is gonna be. Yeah. Because they could play whoever, and you just like, you know what, they should beat them by 10. You had that prediction like Sixers shouldn't have struggled against Sacramento the other day, but they did. But in the minds of when you watching Boston, you don't know what you're gonna get. If Tatum is hot, maybe Jaylen Brown's not. So then that game becomes the Jaylen Brown trying to get himself going, pulling away from Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying?
That's when he start arguing again.
Right. So it's like, do we move on from one of them and get some good pieces that'll fill in, or do we still try to keep both of them because everybody needs us, a Batman and Robin?
That's right. Sometimes
no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the magic number is 3 because now you need 3 now.
Well, I think you need a solid like a Tobias as that third person. It ain't too much of having that 1, 2, 3. There's only so much basketball is gonna go around. You know what I mean? So
unless you have that mindset. But that's perfect segue, Larry. Thank you for that. That's perfect segue because speaking of Tobias, what's up? Tell me what's going on with all this Tobias hate going on. Like what's up with that?
What I look at when I see the Sixers and everybody talk about Tobias, get rid of him. Mm-hmm. I say, what do you expect to get back for? You know what I mean? Because if you get somebody that that's going to score the same amount of points a game or less, what's the purpose of getting rid of Tobias?
I think he's super consistent.
And you know what? And he's always available.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Except for the COVID situation. Mm-hmm. Outside of the COVID situation, Tobias is always available, and he's giving you a dub, maybe 18, but his average is 18 to 20 points a game. Mm-hmm. And you want to trade him, it's not like you're going to get a clear Robin to Embiid's Batman. Mm-hmm. You're going to get another role player or a couple pieces in that role player spot. So now you're going to have 2-3 people that's going to add up to that 20 that you was getting consistently from one.
Yeah.
Granted, everybody's looking at his contract. We're overpaying for athletes all around the board. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad at him getting his money because if somebody is willing to pay me SportsCenter money, Stephen A money, even though I only just started doing it, you gonna get mad at me because I'm not as good as Stephen A or whatever the case may be?
You presented the contract. You presented the contract to me.
Everybody want their worth. At this time, his worth was that $180 million contract.
Yep.
Because you just lost Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to keep Ben Simmons.
You see what happened with that.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But in that aspect, I just think that there's a lot of hate. Tobias does have a lot of ups and downs. He does. Mm-hmm. But he's consistent. You know what I'm saying? He might not get everybody want him to be 25 and up. Tobias is not a 25 and up. You might get one game a week when he gets 25.
Yep.
Or more.
But usually get like 20. He'll get like 20.
His average was 20.8.
Yeah.
His average was 20.8. I think it dropped a little bit because this last 2 weeks he's been in a little funk. The last couple games he played well.
Yeah.
But this last couple weeks he was in a little funk and everybody was really killing him and stuff. And I'm just sitting there saying to myself, I
think he's the perfect compliment to if him and Embiid keep running that 2-man game. Like,
I think if Tobias stopped turning down certain shots, he turns down the regular shot sometime and second guess taking that regular shot to do a step back, to do this move, to do that move, second guessing himself instead of him just pulling up. You 6'9", you can shoot over everybody that's playing you pretty much, and you can shoot.
Yeah,
get to your spots and just pull. You know what I'm saying? But he overthinking it. You know what I mean? But everybody's falling in love with what's his name? George Niang.
Oh, George Niang,
the YMC looking player.
Shout out to and I'm gonna let that one slide. Shout out to Iowa State's finest right there.
Yes, for what I see, George Niang, he's a spot up shooter, but once he starts putting the ball on the ground, trying to do more than what he's capable of, he looks so out of place. Like he's struggling to make this spin move. Like it's like, no, they hired you to be a shooter. Just shoot.
Like you're spinning off the wrong foot.
You trying to be a playmaker and this and other. Like if you get in shape, you probably could do that. But right now, you don't look like you're in shape.
Spot up.
You know what I'm saying? So,
spot up. That's what they need. Spot up.
Yeah, and Court, he started off hot, but he's been hitting the floor lately, and Steph been going through the situation with COVID, and then he had a couple little knickknacks. And I like to see Isaiah Joe get a little bit more time.
Yeah, well, I say never trust
just
a guy
a little
who
bit.
has two first names.
It's
true, right?
Hey, I understand what you're saying.
I don't trust you, bro.
Get out my pocket. You know what? Isaiah Joe could remind me a little bit of how our Robo used to be.
Okay.
If he just, if he defends a little bit more, but he's a better shooter than Robo. You know what I'm saying? But that's my outlook on Tobias. Tobias is needed you can't subtract him to get 2 to 3 pieces to add up to what the one person was giving you.
Right.
Because you never know what those 2 or 3 pieces is going to give you after you get them.
And Tobias he's a little too stable. Way too stable.
You get another Josh Richardson. And you go from averaging 20 with one person to getting a Josh Richardson and somebody else who's together combined only averaging 14 to 16 now. So now 14. It's like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about combined.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not even, they probably wouldn't even combine for 8.
Right. So you do that, and then it's like, damn, we should have just kept Tobias in that contract. Like, it is what it is.
It is. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Yeah, yep. Perfect. Thank you for that. All right, well, you know what? I have to, shameless self-promotion. I got to plug it out.
Oh, man. This is because your Clippers came back from a 35-point deficit and beat Washington Wizards. Oh, gosh. Burn a hoodie and put an Adidas sign over that Nike sign. Like, what the hell?
How dare you disrespect
man, listen.
So what's up with the
Clippers come back for
though?
35. Let me ask you about your Clippers. What is your take on what's going on with the Clippers right now?
Well, with the Clippers right now we're playing pretty good. I'm glad that some of the young players are having a chance to play with of course Kawhi and Paul George being out, and I think it gives them more chance for the team to be together more. Because keep in mind sometimes, and a friend of mine, we were talking about this with the Clippers. Like sometimes when the ball has to go through Kawhi and Paul George, sometimes it takes them a minute to get started. Not to say that, once they get started, bad things happen, because great things happen. Once they get started, Paul George and, Kawhi, and they get out there and they start rocking and rolling, it's great. But sometimes this is how we get down a lot, because we wait for them to get started. Then other guys, they can't catch rhythm and stuff like that. Like Reggie Jackson's playing great out there. Nick Batum's playing great, doing all the intangibles, like deflecting balls, getting like key blocks, stealing. I remember when he played against Joel Embiid, he played him straight up. Like, no, I don't need no help. No, I played him straight up.
Right.
Brandon Boston Jr. is coming along great. Amir Coffey's also coming along great too. So I mean, they're just playing Marcus Morris. Hopefully he's getting well, because I think he was out the last 3 games for like personal reasons, stuff like that. So hopefully he can come back to the game. We miss you, Twin. Get back in there.
Shout out FOE.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So it's like, so I was like, I mean, I like what they're doing. We're staying afloat. We're floating under the radar, in the bottom half of the Western Conference, because that's like that's a gauntlet itself,
So you're satisfied with being a developmental team
for right now, as long as we're in 7th place in the playoff race. I'll take it right now. And we're down 2 stars, a good role player, and a couple other players. So yeah, that's pretty good. We're down 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 stars and one really, 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 really good role player.
So who's that really, really, really good?
That'd be Marcus Morris. Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus.
Mark.
I mean Marcus.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but are the Washington Wizards like that bad, or what's your take on the Wizards? I mean,
Wizards.
Does Bradley Beal have to get out of there? Because Bradley Beal needs to get out of there, I think.
Man, listen, Brad, I think he needs to go. The same way I feel as though Dame need to go. You know, loyalty to some people mean more. You know what I mean? I think that's where they're falling into that situation, opposed to saying I'm on a championship. It's more of I want to do it myself. I don't want to join somebody else's team.
Yeah.
To say that I'm the Robin to that Batman. I like being Batman where I'm at, even though you're not getting the help.
Right, but you can't be Batman all the time. Sometimes you can't be.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go. That's legit, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think Brad need to go. I think he need to change the scenery. Same thing with Dame. Just to really see where he's come from, to give him a different aspect of what the game is. Like, he's getting later in years, and the money is the issue too now. Because a lot of these guys are now, like, next year, Dame won $50 million a year. I love Dame, but I'm not trying to give Dame $50 million.
Yeah, I definitely can't. Yeah, that sounds like too much.
But see, then that's what I was talking about with Tobias. When you talk about these stars, when it comes to contracts, you're going to have to pay what the market is offering. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at those individuals that's getting that check. How many stars LeBron done got paid? Not even stars. How many role players LeBron got paid?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? None of them has shown any kind of after that check.
Yeah, like Matthew Dellavedova.
Like, you don't even talk about them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Booby, like that Dellavedova, Christian Thompson. Like, all of them got checks playing with Brian because they was playing with Brian, and they haven't done anything. Only person I really like that I wish Lakers would have kept was Caruso. I like Caruso. He has a chance to be a solid role player. Yeah. And I think he'll be worth his contract, even though he didn't get on crazy, but he'll be worth his contract. You know, but a lot of these guys get these contracts, and you know you gotta roll with the punches, because that's what the market is valuing them at. So Bradley Beal, I think he needs to go. I just think he needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they was playing well at the beginning of the year too, and that's the bad part. They was rocking at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, him, Spencer Dinwiddie, all them.
Kuz's been rocking and everything. Yeah, finding his role and everything, and now it's just like, whoa.
Hey man, it's just Bradley Beal. If you want to come to the Clippers, hey, you're more than welcome to come. We can't afford you.
Everybody is the Clippers. Everybody needs to go to the Clippers.
Oh yeah,
everybody go to the Clippers, y'all. Let's see how they pay. That billionaire ain't worried about that luxury tax. Just sign everybody.
He really isn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Give you some stake in Microsoft or something like that, whatever the case may be.
So we'll go to the Lakers. Anthony Davis is back.
Ooh, talk to me.
What did that mean to you? You know what I'm saying? But Westbrook is still Westbrook.
Yep.
The Lake Show is still the Lake Show. What do you feel though they should call it, hang it up and break it up?
Yeah, I think they might blow up their team early, because I think they're probably going to wait a couple games to see what's going on with LeBron, to see if the injury is really that major. Because if it's something where you might have to sit him down for a long period of time, Anthony Davis is not going to carry that. And I know damn well that Russell Westbrook's not going to carry that. No disrespect to Russ, but I think they might have to blow that team up early. You know, and
how early do you think it's going to be? It's only
right after All-Star break.
The trade deadline.
Right after All-Star break.
So you're expecting them to just write off checks?
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. Because if they don't trade nobody, everybody is going to be like one of those waves. Yeah.
Listen, here's your $55 million. Don't spend it all in one place.
But they can't do nothing with that money because that's still against their cap.
Damn, Lakers, you got in a juxtaposition now.
Yeah, they're still against their cap.
Lakers. Okay. So, well, I guess they just have to then, if that's the case, then, and if it's about the money, then they're gonna have to just roll with it till the end of the season and then do something from there. But see, that depends on Anthony Davis, though. That depends on his health, though. He's never been healthy for a full year.
He can't be healthy if he walk out of the house and go to his car to go to the arena.
They said word on the street is if he turns on his radio, he gets injured.
Listen, radio frequencies, all types. He might get migraines and all types of stuff. I saw people that's fragile, but that boy, man. And I thought at one point Embiid was very fragile because Embiid don't know how to fall, and that's my guy. I like Embiid, but if you ever notice how he falls every time he hits the floor, it's almost like
looks painful. Like
like he has the worst body flop I ever seen. But like Anthony Davis, it's something. Slide. But Anthony Davis, man, he hairline. He goes and get his shape up, and he might be out for 2 weeks. Like you never know with him. But how do you feel about him playing this week? He played 1 game or 2 games? He played 1.
I believe he did. It
was 2.
I don't know. Was it 2?
They won the 1 game when he came back.
Oh, he might have played 2. He played 2 because they lost against the Sixers.
They lost the Sixers, yeah. And then that leads to what happened the night before last with Westbrook taking the last shot, Carmelo imbalancing the ball to Westbrook. So my problem with that is you imbalancing the ball to somebody that can't shoot, who's sporadic, and you have everybody else just standing around. I'm making Westbrook take the ball out.
Yeah. They should have switched that. Yeah, they should have switched that.
That's just my point. You want him on the floor, don't get me wrong, because you got time, because he I think it was like 14 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like 8 to 14 seconds, somewhere around there. And he did an ISO, pull up 3-pointer. They down 2. Came back. They did a hell of a comeback. Because Mike was up in the zone going crazy. He walked away like, yo, how y'all let him come back? Y'all just had like
Mike,
15, 20.
Yeah, I don't need Mike watching my games, man. Like,
right,
Mike,
yeah, that pressure is crazy.
Yeah, just go somewhere, Mike.
That pressure is crazy.
Go to a casino or something like that.
Yeah, but Westbrook pulled up for a 3-point shot, and Clang, he hit his previous 2, which was, I guess he felt that rhythm.
Heat check. Was that a heat check?
Yeah, but it was like the wrong time. Out of a timeout, you don't have that same rhythm as you went up and down.
You don't have that type of. I'm not gonna say you don't have that type of skill, but there's only shows a few can come out of a timeout.
Yeah,
and hit a really crucial shot.
Yeah, and if he was going from full court coming down on you, I would say okay, you could take that last shot. But for him to be in a half court setting and then ISO himself. Yeah. Then Frank Vogel didn't even. I look at these coaches like Doc Rivers and stuff. And my man Mike Anderson, I posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw it.
He like, yo, you got Larry. When you gonna realize that these coaches are paid babysitters to for higher paid athletes? And I know he was joking, but at the same token, this is like, but you put yourself in. You put yourself in a position, I can draw up a play, and I'm nowhere near as qualified as Doc Rivers or anybody like that, or what's his name, Frank Vogel, or whatever the case may be. But you've been put in these situations so many times. How don't y'all have any kind of play set when you have time on the clock to have any kind of transition or screens or backdoors or anything like that? Everything that comes to an ISO. It's just strictly ISO. Inbounds the ball, everybody move. What did you call a timeout for?
They just called a timeout because I've seen coaches like that. Like I've seen a couple times when Doc is when he's with the Clippers. I've seen a couple times, especially during playoff series, like I'll say the Utah series, like back when they had like Joe Johnson and everybody and Gordon Hayward and everybody, when they were like good ISO Joe and everybody. I've seen
ISO Joe is still ISO Joe in Atlanta. Don't get twisted.
Oh yeah, that he is. I seen him just like he's in the timeout and he's like not saying anything. Like, yo, whoa, say something. Like, I need you. And then next thing you know, the horn time to go back in. Now what do we do? Do we get the ball to Chris Paul? I mean, do we give it to Blake? I mean, do we give it to JJ? I mean, who do we give it to? So, you know, and that's how we come out, at the losing end of some of those games and stuff like that. But most like you said, Mike, shout out to Mike. Mike, you're absolutely right, yo. Like sometimes they are paid babysitters because you don't want to upset your franchise.
But my thing is, like, you had 5 players on the court. Your 4.5 is because the inbounders are more than likely you're not trying to get him involved, not unless it's a back screen off of the inbounds pass. When you get him the basketball in the corner or something, what they could have did with Melo.
True.
Or have somebody else come off of a screen or a pin down or something like that. You're only down 2. And
exactly. That's what I was going to say too. You're only down 2. Tie it up.
You letting Russell Westbrook allowing him to dictate, and you already know how his level of his IQ when it comes to that circumstance is. And for anything, I thought he was going to attack. His explanation was he's about to drive, and Brooks took the step. It was about to beat into a spot, so he just pulled up because he had a rhythm already. Well, you just came out of a timeout. That rhythm is broken, right? Brooks, you can handle the basketball, Russ. So it's nothing for you to go left to right.
Right.
And you like contact. Brooks is he's going to defend the shot. You already know that. You pump fake. You can get him in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You drive, use your body, use the chance you can get that foul. Yep. It's like, but you went to the worst thing out of all things next to you making a pass, which is bad. Like his turnovers and his jump shot percentage.
He has those. What the F? He has those. Sometimes he has. He's one of those guards who has like. I'll put him up there with Reggie Jackson too, like because Reggie Jackson does a lot too. Like he'll jump up in the air and make a pass. You know,
for no reason.
He has one of those what I call what the F turnovers.
Yeah. And the more you watch it, the worse it gets.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch because I've been analyzing Westbrook this year. After the first few games, I was just like, it's just a matter of them getting together. But after 15, it was like, all right, let me see what everybody's really talking about. And I'm looking like, like how many turnovers you gonna have by just jumping in the air and just hoping somebody is there to throw in the basketball. But for him to take that 3-point shot at that time, I just was like, out of all shots, you choose to take that one when you shooting like 20%. Oh. And you don't need to win the game. You need to try to tie the game. So I would take you going to the hole all out of control before I have you taking that 3-point shot out of rhythm.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have the ball in your hand. But I think they should have drew up something else. I really do.
There it is. Hopefully sometime this week. From Larry's lips to Russell's and God's ears. Hopefully they can. Hopefully it'll just come to him by osmosis or something like that.
I don't think that's gonna happen because if you remember, Shaq had a conversation with Russ at the game.
To slow down. You're going too fast. Slow down. You're gonna crash.
Listen, I ain't Shaq, so
maybe he'll do what Shaq
it's
says.
being on deaf ears right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe he'll do what Shaq says or something like that.
If he does, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
Shaq knows
he only has one speed.
Fast.
Yep.
Super fast, So, also, definitely want to touch on the rise of the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Like, I remember they're like the laughing stock.
Yeah, shocking, very shocking. They're doing a great job over there with the young players.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about that. They're doing a great job over there with the young players. The young players are playing to their potential. Kevin Love is still there, which I thought he would have been moved by now. But K Love is over there, and he's been actually rocking.
Yeah, he's been hooping.
He's been rocking. He had a couple of brain farts, during the season, inbounds and tapping the ball, like a couple of brain farts. But
yeah, you think he's like Moses Malone or something like that. No, bro.
Yeah,
you're Kevin Love, not Moses.
But after that, those young players are just playing basketball. And I think the best thing about this is Colin Sexton being out, because to me, I think he's just he's just a wild card. I think he's going to be a journey player.
Yeah, he's a black hole.
He's not going to. They're not going to give him a big contract after this year. You know what I mean? I want everybody to get their money. Get your money. Get your money. Get your money.
That's right.
Don't wish unsuccessfulness on people, but
just
players.
Would you pay?
I'm not paying.
No,
exactly. Not at all. Exactly. Not at all. I think he's going to get maybe like $5 to $6 million because he has potential per year.
Yep.
If he gets any more than that, it's going to be because of the market. But the Cleveland Cavaliers is very shocking. But I watched a couple of their games, unlike I watched my Pistons, and I can actually watch their games. Garland, he's gonna be a problem, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a
Colin who?
problem. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be a real big problem. So, Colin's gonna have to hit that bench. Or knowing him with his mindset, he's gonna be like, oh, I'd rather go be a free agent.
All right.
Because, Cleveland gonna offer him something, because they're a young nucleus. They were trying to match them in the backcourt together, but that ain't gonna work. But Garland, he been balling. He been hooping like a champ.
Yeah,
man.
most definitely
been hooping like a champ.
And the rookie, Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
He's been all over the place. And then
Stevenson, I think he hurt now or something like that. Shout out to
Lamar's hurt.
Lamar, I think so. I thought he was on the injured list or something like that. But shout out to Lamar.
Shout out to Lamar. Penn State stand up.
No doubt.
Roman Catholic's finest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pop was a great player as well.
Yes, sir.
Bunnies. But I think they playing very well. Kevin Love and them is just like they got a good group of kids that want to play the game well, want to play the right way.
Are they? You think they're going to make a little bit of noise? Because
no,
okay,
no, they're playing well in this regular season.
Playoff bound.
They playing well in this regular season. They may get in that play in, play out. You know what I mean? That now it's 9-10 teams now in the playoffs.
And this is where we come in. That's right.
So I think they'll get in there, but to make noise, it's going to take a whole lot more. We all know that the playoffs is a whole different animal.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So that up and down, it comes to a half court offense.
It comes possession after possession.
Yeah. So now you got to think about that, and can they sustain that for a whole game against whomever they're playing against? A Miami, you know what I mean? A Milwaukee. I don't think so. But regular season, they doing well.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm saying they have. I will say they may have a better chance playing against Philly than they playing against anybody else, or New Jersey.
Okay.
And New Jersey just gotta hope they just don't. I think what I think. Being as though, are we gonna get into New Jersey game? No, we're not.
Yeah,
so just to speak on Jersey, I think they're gonna fall below that home court advantage, that 1 through 4.
Okay.
Just so that Kyrie can play those away games.
Oh, you mean Brooklyn? Okay. Yeah. I call New Jersey too for some odd reason. Because I'm stuck in my Kenny Anderson phase and stuff like that.
Tell me about it.
Shout out DC.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that plays a part in their, because if they get home court, that's 4 games he can't play at home if it goes 7.
Yeah, take that with you, Brooklyn. Since you want to try to play the system and stuff like that. Speaking of Kyrie, man, like you're on fire today. You need to do broadcasting or something like that. A couple of my friends, we do we group chat when we run ball. We always go over who got cooked and all that other good stuff. A couple of my friends and I, shout out to my boys at the Run GFS stand up. We were in a group chat this week, and a couple of us now a couple of those guys are a little younger than we are. They're maybe late 20s and stuff like that.
Oh, so they're not a little younger. They're much younger than us.
They're kind of like babies a little bit.
Yeah, right. So LeBron is the GOAT in their eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
They said Kyrie's the GOAT too.
They said Kyrie's the GOAT.
They did. Yo, man,
the GOAT of handles?
They were arguing for 20 minutes. GOAT of handles, yeah, probably.
Of handles?
Handles. Yeah, they were talking about, Allen Iverson
my idol is, so,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I will say Kyrie.
And he had handles. He had mad handles.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to show all of it crazy.
The machine gun handle, all that stuff. Yeah. So, my question to you, Larry, because about that, the little AI versus Kyrie matchup, who do you think, and don't be biased or anything like that. Who do you think would win this matchup between the two? Now, keep in mind, both of these players are in their prime, and I would love for our viewers to actually call in or dial in or hit us up in the comments and stuff like that about this. And there's no such thing as a wrong answer here. You can do Kyrie, you can do AI, but keep in mind, we're talking prime AI. We're talking maybe 96 to 03 AI or 05 AI. I don't think you want to handle with 01 AI. I'm just saying, a lot of people are just saying like, well, AI wasn't a good one-on-one defender. He played the passing lane, stuff like that. But not really, because AI, he wasn't known as a great one-on-one defender, but he had those super long arms though, and he would knock it away, disrupt you, stuff like that. And Kyrie, they say that Kyrie is just as fast. Well, he's faster, yeah, but AI was fast too. You niggas sound like AI wasn't fast. So.
Now I would say in that aspect, I'm taking AI.
Okay.
I'm taking AI because quickness means a lot in the game of basketball, and you don't have to have 100 moves just to get from A to B. Today's society a lot as put Kyrie in the full frontal of how to get to certain places when you want to get to them, opposed to just getting there. Yeah. You start talking about the secondary move, the third. If something happens, a breakdown move along with that secondary move. So a lot of that will come into play when it comes to that matchup between
AI and Kai.
AI and Kai. So I would say I would take AI.
Yeah. I'm taking AI too.
Kyrie,
not because I don't like Kyrie, because I love Kyrie.
It's never gonna be because I don't like Kyrie, because he has the best layup package since his godfather.
Man, listen.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't going front. That man's layup package.
Yeah.
In 2K, you talking about the gold, platinum, whatever you want to call it, whatever package that is. Yeah. That man's finishing is stupid.
Man, you got to see it in person too. It's even better in person, because it's like, how does he getting that ball off like that? I mean, you got to have because you got to have like a crazy core, because you're rocking it, and then you're spinning it, then you put English on it off the glass.
English, all types of.
Yeah.
I watched some of his highlights, and I just was like, wow. But then if you see his godfather, Rod Strickland, who was one of the guys I always looked up to as well, under Isaiah and everything. But to see how Rod used to finish one hand, everything was just one hand. When he's English everywhere, spinning here, spinning there. But Kai does it with two.
Yeah.
He does a lot of it with two.
He rocks.
He rocking the ball and all that stuff like that. But if I had to get downhill, you're not going to stop AI.
Nope.
Half court, you have a better chance of AI missing shots than anything. But if you need you need somebody to get to a spot, I'll take Kyrie.
Okay.
Because Kyrie's going to get there in any kind of facet. AI is more left to right, straight.
Yep. Zoop, zoop.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going to give you left, or right, or left, back to left.
Yep.
Or pity. It's so. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what he's giving you too. He's giving you left, and then across.
Yeah, like he's giving you so much. Like, you're either going to jump, you're going to flinch,
put your hands up, you're gonna get still or something like that. You're gonna freeze or something.
Yeah, like it's you're gonna do something. You're definitely gonna do something. If once he gets when he start getting in his bag in that half court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Also, I definitely want to touch on this. Listen, we're all Kobe fans here. We're all we've seen Kobe grow up.
Stuff goat. Yes, sir.
Yeah, through the ranks of like Lower Marion, becoming like the best basketball player in America. Also going with that awesome NBA class in 1996. Now, unfortunately, just want to say rest in peace to Kobe. It's been 2 years. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yes, sir.
It's been 2 years since the passing of the great Kobe Bryant. Before we go any further, do you have any favorite Kobe moments or favorite Kobe games? And also, which Kobe do you thought was better? Was it 8 or 24?
24 was better. That's answer
Okay.
that hands down.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
24.
I
24
disagree,
was,
but you know.
24 was better because I'm gonna say it in my perspective.
Right. Of course.
8 was more of the flashy Kobe,
reckless.
But 24, I can do double the amount of what I did at 8 by staying by
I agree.
pivots,
I agree with that part.
pivots, and a fundamental part of basketball.
Pivots.
Because his dynamic of his game changed as he got less athletic. So less athletic, but still has every now and then he can get that dunk, get that reverse, whatever like that. But for him to do the things that he was doing, when you look at fundamentally sound, looking at the little attention to detail, 24 was better to me.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? The first part of that question, memory.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Kobe's coming out.
Okay,
He's coming out against Washington preseason when he dunked on what's that ball?
Ben Wallace. He dunked on Ben Wallace.
Was Ben?
Yeah,
I don't think it was Ben.
It was Ben, man. I'm gonna tell you how it went down.
The crossover down the middle of the lane.
Chris Whitney.
I remember Chris
Whoever
Whitney.
he is. And he came down because I remember I was watching it. It was on KCAL, as a matter of fact, KCAL, California. Was it a right to left cross or a left to right cross?
It was a left to right.
That's what made it even nastier.
Yeah, he went to a strong hand. Yep.
And he jumped and he banged it and he hung on the rim a little bit hard. He hung on the rim a little bit. And Ben Simmons, I think he took Ben Simmons. I'm sorry. Well, I wish it was
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
That's my guy, Ben Wallace.
Sorry, Ben. This is when you were like a rookie or something like that.
No, but Ben was still bored.
As a matter of fact, he was a rookie.
He was.
As a matter of fact,
you know what I'm saying?
For a second year, I think.
Second, maybe.
Yeah,
second maybe.
And
it wasn't
he banged it, and the bench. With the part that I liked the best was the bench was going crazy.
And then when he came down, he did.
Yeah, I was
because wasn't that after that was like. No, that wasn't after his rookie year when he shot all the bad shots in the playoffs when he took Eddie Jones and them. That was probably 2 years after that. Yeah. That was like the second year after. Maybe in his third year, that's when Kobe really became. That was his coming out party that year.
That was the.
But that was my finding moment with Kobe when he came out. And Kobe was an arrogant dude, but on that basketball court, you can watch him all day long.
Almost definitely. I told people that
all day long.
When I was working at Foot Locker for my second job. They said the guys like, I don't like Kobe. He's he's pompous. He's this and that. I was like, listen, I don't care what he does off the court. On the court, if you don't like Kobe Bryant, then you don't like basketball. And
my second one would be, I do have two.
Talk to me.
When he didn't shoot the ball for the whole first half.
For Phoenix? Was that the Phoenix series?
I can't remember the team that they were playing.
Well, was it one of those games where he had maybe 30-something points in the second half?
No. Yeah. But the first half he didn't shoot because prior to they were saying that he was shooting too much. They was having bickering in the Lakers organization.
Was that the Memphis game, I think?
And
I think it might have been Memphis.
And when every time he touched the basketball, he just passed that shit. He just passed it. Everybody was like, "What's wrong with you?" Ain't nothing. Y'all do it. Y'all do it. Y'all do it.
See what happens.
At halftime, they asked him like, "What's going on?" They say they can do it without me. Second half came in, he had like 40.
Yeah, I think that might have been the Memphis game, yo.
He had like 40.
Were they playing in LA at that joint? I think were they playing in LA? I think that might have been Memphis because I forgot who it was.
And I say those were the two defining moments for me with Kobe. That coming out when he was coming to his own, and when he let everybody know, listen, I am who I am. Ain't nothing y'all can do about that. But when y'all want to talk all crazy and say this and that, I think this was during the disgruntled part when he was talking about just trade me then.
Yeah, this one we almost had a chance to get him too. Quiet as kept. I'm dead serious, man. Jerry Wester was like, "No, don't go over there. Don't do it. Don't you do it. He's not going to treat you good." He's not.
But those were my two defining moments. What about yourself?
Myself, one of those Kobe dunks. That's definitely one of my favorites. My other favorite was the Vincent Yarborough dunk when Robert Ory threw it the full length of the court and Kobe caught it in one motion and he went around his back and backed it, boom. And then, of course, I mean, a lot of people say the 81-point game, because I remember I was watching that like when it happened. Like,
yeah, I was watching it when it happened too.
This is when League Pass was like, this is when you were thankful for League Pass and stuff like that.
Jalen Rose, he looked real bad.
Now,
he looked very bad.
Let me see. Now, my moments. I remember the windmill dunk he did on Utah. I think he did on Darren Williams. That was one of my favorites. But one of my favorite Kobe moments or Kobe games. It's not even an NBA game. It's the game where they played in the Olympics when they first got the Redeem team back together. And I think it was against I don't know if it was against Spain, Slovenia. Was it against them? And he just was clutch.
When started talking trash to him in Slovenia, and he started talking back to him.
He's like, I said, yeah, y'all do this too.
And at the foul line, they was arguing back and forth, going back and forth and stuff. And he was talking to them in their language.
Kobe, I mean,
he went berserk on them.
I'm trying to figure who were they playing, because I remember that was I don't know if it was against Spain. I think in the gold medal game, and Kobe like literally put the team on his back, and I'll never forget that play where the ball was coming around the perimeter, and first I think it went to LeBron, then it went to D Wade, and D Wade threw a pass to Kobe on the elbow, 3-pointer, tweet and one, got the foul. Kobe just had this look on his face like. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always, it didn't just being a Clipper fan and just watching us get dismantled by Kobe, like, every 4 games and stuff like that.
Y'all had to play in the same building, right? Because y'all ain't had no building.
Well, we had the Staples Center first, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we just couldn't pay the rent, so we need the Lakers help to pay the rent, stuff like that. So, but yeah, man, that was like some of my. I mean, I have tons and tons of like Kobe memories and stuff like that. But but yeah. So, anything else you wanted to get into? Because my phone is getting low on energy.
We can talk about the East All-Stars. East and West All-Stars starting lineup. So,
no doubt.
With the East, we got Trae Young, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Joel Embiid, and DeMar DeRozan. Do you have any issues or any kind of say about that?
Well, maybe Trae Young, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you replace him with?
I'm thinking like, doesn't your team have to like win or something like that? Does your team just your record have to be? Okay. So that was just more of the vote.
It's political. It's political.
Right,
it's political.
They want to see Trae. They want to see Trae hit his little, they want to see ice cold.
That's one of the things I hate about the All-Star voting thing is because people that don't deserve to be there be getting voted in because it's considered fan voting. Fans, they tried to start Klay Thompson. Like, I mean, Kyrie Irving, they tried to start him too as well. Like, I'm sitting there like they haven't played.
Yeah, they haven't played any games. Like, no.
Yeah, so
and plus, he probably won't play anyway.
Right. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I can't think of anybody. But right now, honestly.
You think? You know what? You think?
If you're giving me Trae, if they could take Trae out,
I put Zach LaVine in Trae Young's place though.
Most definitely, but I think Zach gonna be part of the what's your crumbs?
The reserves.
Reserves.
Yeah. Maxey
deserve it more than Trae, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's been hooping.
That kid's special, man. Yeah. Like once he really learns the point guard position, I think he's gonna be a whole lot more comfortable because he still makes a lot of little iffy passes Iverson cut passes and stuff like that. But I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, he's young.
In that position, it's like asked of a lot of us. It's asked a lot out of us when it comes to running offensive sets. And some of his passes on Iverson cuts or certain plays are just like kind of iffy.
Definitely.
But I would put him out of there. As far as the West, we got Steph Curry,
of course,
Ja,
of course,
Brian,
he might not,
Andrew Wiggins,
congratulations,
and Nick the Joker. What is your perspective on that star file?
Well, LeBron probably might not play. So they're going to probably find somebody to, replace him. Congratulations to Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins has been hooping.
And I'm gonna put this out there. A few years ago, I think it was like year before last. Somebody they was asking, should you trade Ben Simmons if you want to trade? What about the Andrew Wiggins? This is when he's at the Timberwolves still.
Okay.
And I just like, I would take Andrew Wiggins. Everybody questioning his heart, but he a player.
No, he got heart. He'll attack the basket.
But during this time, this is when everybody was questioning. You know what I mean? That's when they had the Jimmy Butler issue and all this other stuff. That's why Jimmy left.
That. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I said I would take Andrew Wiggins. And the reason behind that is because Andrew Wiggins, he ain't the defensive player that Ben Simmons is, but he shoots and he can score. He knows how to create his own shot. He does all these things. Nobody would. Now look.
Yeah. Listen,
opportunity.
Man. I still remember that 40. I still remember that 43 points he put on. What did he put on that? I remember he did that in college. I forgot who it was. I think it was like a Big Ten school or something like that. He was killing them. Yeah.
Love it. Love Ja.
About time.
Ja.
It's about time.
Well deserved. Well deserved. We already talked about Drew Wiggins. Brian, you said might not play.
Might not play.
So then it's gonna be a substitute for him.
They probably put Paul George in there. Like he gets votes. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you trying to put Clay in there? I was gonna put Paul George in there.
What I think they should, as far as All-Star Weekend, this is something I wish they did. I wish they did. We got a little breaking news.
Talk to me.
Raiders has signed Josh McDaniels as the head coach.
Oh.
Raiders has signed
Congrats.
Josh McDaniels as the head coach.
Yeah. Black. Bless you.
Excuse
Black. Black Monday came a little early and a little late.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's a little breaking news there. But as far as back to the basketball aspect of what we talking about, I'm looking at it like the All-Star game should have like a big man what's the skill thing.
Okay.
Like turnaround jump shot, hook jump shots. As far as points, going in points. Because it has nothing to do with the big man. You got the skills, passing and shooting thing. You know what I mean? Like as far as that's concerned. But just to give some of these bigs that may not make an All-Star team, but just giving them some kind of feed into All-Star weekend.
Right.
Allowing those, like if you had that back with Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, and all Elijah one, had that, turnaround jump, how many turnaround different spots. The same with like 3-point contests, doing different moves and stuff like that, and get the point system for that. I think that would be thorough because you done put something in there for point guards and shooting guards already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That'd be high. That'd definitely be high. I don't think everybody would want to see that though. I would want to see it because I like fundamentals.
But but at the end of the day, it's All-Star weekend, so it ain't. Nobody wants to see a dunking contest.
That's true.
You're going to keep repeating the same. How many years we going to keep repeating the same dunks? Every now and then you might get a new dunk.
But there's only one Aaron Gordon. Yeah, there's only one Aaron Gordon and one Zach LaVine. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So,
but they were doing the same thing with Mike and Dominique were doing. So,
You know what I'm saying? Not unless you're saying, all right, we're going to have a dunking contest for players that's 6 foot and under. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get... What is Dwight Howard doing in the dunking contest?
Nothing. You're tall.
You know what I'm saying? Like
7 feet. You're tall. That's like
you're not talking to athletic. We talking about the athletic. You're talking to Zach LaVines and stuff like that. But as far as the All-Star weekend, I think it's just a waste of time. Now, 3-point contest is always going to be good because it's always a shooter. Everybody wants to see the shooters. I like the skills challenge when it's the basketball dribbling, the pass and stuff like that. It's just IQ of the precision, the passing and ball handling and stuff like that with a little shooting at the end.
Right. I'm listening. I gotta go get my charger. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, but then like I said, I would like to see something for the big man, for those big men who may not never make a All-Star team, but as well as giving them some kind of fun to do because you got something to do with everybody else.
Right. Un momento, por favor. My charger. Mm-mm.
What up, everybody? Lock in with us. YouTube in the basement with Next Step. Instagram in the basement. Facebook in the basement with Next Step. I'll let us, man. Just trying to do something entertaining, talking sports, debates that we always do, whether via social media. So now just building a platform to enjoy it. Fun debates, personal opinions, nothing to take in personally to he or she that we're talking about, but just our opinions. That's what we here.
There we go.
My boy back. But yeah, so I was looking at that, in the aspect of that. But there we go. Want to get into the college basketball?
Please, yes, sir.
Auburn, Auburn University. Charles Barkley has to be the happiest camper. And first of all, like I said. First of all, like I said, that's all he says. First of all, and like I said before, and my man, that's my boy Keith G. That's his man. You can't talk no dirt about Barkley.
About Barkley.
Not at all. No. But Auburn has the number one spot in college basketball, and they had a little scare this weekend.
Yeah, they played against the first game they played against Kentucky last week, and then this weekend they played against it was like a Big 12 SEC challenge or something like that, and they played against Oklahoma. They actually held theirs against Oklahoma. I mean, I don't have the box score in front of me, but I mean I know they won 86-68, and Auburn's for real. They actually held on to their number one ranking. Like when you're number one, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get knocked off, in like a week or two.
They beat Kentucky. They beat Kentucky 80-71.
They did. Okay.
That was on the 22nd, and then they just beat Missouri by
that
one.
was the Kentucky game. That was the Tobias Harris's brother with the 360.
But they just beat Missouri by 1, and Missouri messed their game up. They supposed to foul, and they didn't foul. Auburn hit shot.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn is for real, man. I see them, if they keep playing their cards right, I see them going to the SEC tournament, maybe getting to the semis. Maybe, probably see them getting to the semis, losing, just so they can get some rest, and then get like a number 1 or number 2 seed. That's it. They're not going to be like the overall, number 1 seed.
Yeah, they just beat Oklahoma by 18. And they play Alabama on the 1st on Tuesday.
Woo! Who just knocked off Baylor. That was my tournament upset. That was my upset special too. Alabama. They just came in, listen, I don't care who you are, F your ranking, whatever. You're playing in Bama, come get this. And speaking of which, definitely want to highlight again, the stellar play of Isaiah Brockington. Stunting like his daddy.
Stunting like his daddy.
Stunting like his daddy, Antoine,
Yes, sir.
For Iowa State, he's having he's having a great month, as a matter of fact. 26 points at Oklahoma State, 19 points versus TCU, 12 points against Texas Tech, 17 points against Texas, and playing against Missouri, he actually has
15.
15, yep. 15,
yeah, 15.
6, 2. I think he got a steal, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
Let me find out.
Yep.
Find out, bro.
Youngin, nephew.
Find out.
He rocking. He's showing a lot of people didn't really put stake in IZV because of his.
Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
They didn't know he's a tweener in between his size being that he could be a shooting guard, but he didn't shoot consistently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he's never been a point guard. So that tweener and not knowing where he's going to be as far as on the next level, he finally honed into what he can do best, and that was play with his athleticism. Mm-hmm. And start shooting like his daddy used to shoot.
Man, listen, I still remember.
Just put it up.
Yeah, shout out.
He's gotten consistent. He's gotten very, very, very consistent. He's playing within himself, and him transferring to this Iowa State was like a blessing in disguise.
Yes, it was.
Because at Penn State he was used quite well. He was getting major starting time and everything. Mm-hmm. But I think in his aspect of what he wanted to do, he needed to try to go somewhere where he can get a little bit more exposure and it could be more. He can get more shots up. System mean a lot.
It does, and I think that's what it was too. I think it was that type of system because when Pat Chambers was there, it was a lot of guard play. It's like 4 guards, one big man. Like you can only do so much with that because you already know what's going to happen. Like
everybody's on the perimeter.
They're going to fire around the perimeter. With Iowa State, at least they got small forwards, they got
inside out,
forwards, inside out. So now, and the type of system that they run with is what's his face still the coach over there, Hoiberg? Is Hoiberg still
no, Fred? He's not there no more.
Okay,
Fred Hoiberg is not there. I think he left last year.
Oh man,
I think he got fired.
The mayor? They fired the mayor?
Yeah, I think they got fired.
Man, they used to love some Fred Hoiberg, yo. He couldn't do anything wrong. He must have done some dumb stuff. Fred could shoot. Yeah, hell of a shooter. But yeah, man, like starting like his dad, man. I still remember like the games we used to see on TV when Coppin State beat when they beat South Carolina that year, and like was it '97? Yeah, it's all Philly, the all Philly crew. You know, Turk,
Fred Ward
with the crazy finger roll with the afro. Twan. I think there was one more person. It was 4 of them. But I remember the next round they took a Texas team that was stacked and took them to the brink, and they lost because somebody. I think somebody didn't get the ball to him. Somebody didn't get the ball to Antoine.
Yeah,
and because Antoine was open, you know. But yeah, that was. And then the next year he gave Mike Bibby and Miles Simon and Michael Dickerson and all that. Terry, he gave them like 40. I remember that game. That game was on tape somewhere in the archives. I'll find it. But yeah, man, shout out to Zay, man. He's having a great month, and hopefully he's going to have another great February to lead into the Big 12 tournament. And
he's on his way
to the tournament. Yeah, you already know that.
He's definitely on his way. He's in the NBA eyes because they've been talking pretty good, on him. About his athleticism and his decision making has gotten a whole lot better, and him making shots. Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's definitely getting that all first team, second team, Big 12 talk too. He's in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're loving him right about now.
Yes, sir. Loving him. Next up was your Maryland Terps.
My Terps.
Every time I'm watching, they got the Philly fam over there, Fats Russell and Dante Scott. You know what I'm saying? Emotep's finest.
Right.
How you feel about what's going on over there?
I do. We're still going through a little turmoil in our transition with Danny Manning and like his coaching.
I don't think he's going to be the coach.
I don't think he is either. He's just a substitute teacher for the year, and after that, you're gone. But I mean, we're working with him, But I think I definitely commend Danny Manning for getting through it and also letting the Philly guys play, because I think they got into it like a couple of weeks ago, and they didn't start Hakeem Hart because Hakeem Hart usually starts now.
Oh, my fault. I left out a little Hawk. Oh, my bad.
Oh man, you're gonna have to improve that.
Roman Catholic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, I forgot how. My bad.
I'll tell him that
apologize.
you the next time we get a chance to get him on the podcast, I'll just tell him that you forgot about him. That's all.
Yeah. But I gave a shout out last time we was on the pod, so it doesn't
count.
Matter. Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, like, and what I love about, like, you know, Hakeem and Dante is like just the defense that they're playing on, like the best players on the other teams, like in the conference and stuff like that. Like, and Hakeem's doing a great job out there too. It's not like he's like, oh, I gotta go out here and play defense. My offense is gonna suffer. He's like, yo, where he at? You know, bring him to me. Like, I got him. You know, and
at one point he never was into it defensively.
Yeah.
That's
how it is, though.
But I think he's starting to see where his mark could be to get to that next level, and he's starting to hone into those attributes of his ability that he could possibly be getting better at. You know what I mean? As far as defensively, and then offensively, I like to see the ball in his hands a little bit more. And him creating off of the dribble. I would love to see him do that because of his length.
Right. Yeah, you know, he has like a basketball body too.
Like, exactly. You know that KD long arm stuff. You know what I mean? Thin build.
Yeah.
But his lateral movement has to get a whole lot better, and him going to the basket. I think he needs to start finishing.
Yeah.
More at the basket. He lays the ball up a lot, so it's like a lack. When you see that, you just be like, I don't be that tall. There's no way he shouldn't be finishing over top of people and stuff
sometimes
like that.
You know what it is. Sometimes it's more about, you know, when you're tall like that and lithe and, you know, slender and getting to the cup. Sometimes you want to, you know,
finesse
it, you know. But sometimes when you're that size, you got to power that thing in. You're playing in the Big Ten, bro. It's not like you're playing like in the now I can understand if you was playing like in the ACC or something like that or the Big East. Like, yeah, you can finesse it. Yeah, finesse that thing in. Do what you got to do. But if you're playing in the SEC, Big 12 or Big 10, you know, you got to power that thing in. You got to crunch that thing on somebody, man. Make them fall or something like that, you know.
But yeah, he's having a great year though. He's been being talked about a lot.
Yeah.
As far as next level as well. Dante Scott defensively, and then he had a couple good big games this past week or so when he scored, you know, a good amount of points. He's always been a terror on defense. That's been his whole mindset.
Yeah, that's been
his whole mindset.
Unfortunately, it didn't work against Indiana, but Indiana, they got seen on against Indiana, but that was like the revenge game anyway because
I was watching
we beat them. You know, what was that? Penn State. That might have been Penn State. Either way, they got trapped. No, that was Penn State. I apologize. Sorry, America. That's my fault.
And that's your team. All right.
I mean, I remember Penn State too because you know my niece, she goes to Penn State up there, so you know, so
So and Fat's been playing pretty well, pretty well. Hoping that he can get a little bit more aggressive and start taking more pull-ups. That's just my opinion.
Well, they're starting to, you know what it is? Danny Manning is starting to let them play now. Because you know Danny Manning, he's not like an East Coast guy. He's
Kansas. He's a Kansas, very set in offensive sets and passing cuts. Yeah,
pass cuts,
Princeton offenses, backdoors and stuff. It don't work like that with all these. You got a bunch of athletes.
Yeah, not with these horses. No, this is Maryland.
Fats is an athlete.
Maryland tapes or something to see what they do.
Fats is the elite.
Yes.
And he would punch that thing down on you, and you don't even know.
Yeah, the crazy part is you don't even expect it. Like,
you don't expect it. The kid can go.
Just check him at Rhode Island.
He has to get a more consistent jump shot. You know what I'm saying? But he's defensively, he's just a dog.
Yeah, just ask Trae Young.
Tell me about it, right? Yeah, he learned. Yeah, he learned real quick. Fast is right at him. Very first play of the game, right at him. Give me that. You think this is? I'll take that. That don't mean nothing here.
Yeah, you don't want that. You know.
Yeah,
give me
but
lunch, you know.
Love of Philly kids. What else we got here?
Oh yeah, you remember your boy Penny was yelling at
media
like this past week, man. Is there trouble in Penny's paradise, man? What's going on? Talk to me.
Listen, I look at that as like when you are who you are, and you get in these kids that. As African American, we hoping like all African Americans can get jobs and get these kids to their institutions and whatever like that. But you got a target on your head when you get in Jalen and Imani Bates. Like it ain't nothing else to be said about that. You know what I mean? You getting a number 1 and number 2 player, even though Imani hasn't been playing too much because he was on the injured list. Jalen's been playing. But when you get those type players, and then you getting kids that you used to coach transferring to your school, transferring back to be under you, and you're not reaching that success, though you may have had some injuries and whatever the case may be, but you have a team full of 10 to 12 kids that actually play. You don't have the 8 kids and then the walk-ons that you use for practice players. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So there's a big difference there. So for him to blow up like he did, I can understand the frustration. We all get frustrated sometimes. If they're not winning, then the staff that you have is impeccable. Larry Brown, you know what I mean, on the sideline with you. So I can understand the frustration at some point, and then they're not winning like they was expected.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they're still do you think they're still a tournament team?
Yes, I think they're still a tournament team. I think they're going to be dangerous in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be one of those things like we've been roughing it all season long just to get in. Let us get in and then buckle down. Because now these kids got something. Monty's playing now. He's back at playing on the floor. Mm-hmm. And I think once they get into the mode of this is what we're here for.
Right.
And it's for Jalen and Imani mainly, I'm not familiar with the rest of the kids, but for them mainly, with them already having the aspirations of being in the lottery.
Right. And they know Penny can get him in there.
Right. You know what I mean?
You're playing with Penny.
Now it's just like, yo, we suffered all season long to get to this point. Let's turn it around. So I think they're going to be a whole different team when it comes to the tournament if they get in. They should get in, even if it's a low seed.
Now, what if they? Okay, now I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Let's say they don't get in to get to the NIT. Is Penny's job?
I don't think they playing.
I
don't think Jalen and Imani and them playing. I'm gonna be honest.
They're gonna decline it because you can't decline an offer from the NIT.
Yes.
Yes. I know North Carolina did it one time.
Yeah.
He's like UNC. When I saw that, I saw the bracket.
Yep.
I was like, University of North Carolina, NIT.
Yep.
What's this for the women's team? Like,
I think he'd decline it. I think that'll be like a shot. That would be a shot to his soul.
I'm like, yo. Now, is his job be in jeopardy? Like, would they be like, all right, listen, Penny.
I can't say his job be in jeopardy after 1 year like this. I mean, they made the tournament last year, made a little noise in the tournament. He wound up getting the number 1 and number 2 players this year.
Okay, so they're not gonna
say, oh, something like that. Yeah, they're not.
You're not even a has-been. You never was.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They just gonna, let them roll with the punches.
I hope so, man.
Because at the end of the day, I think that Penny trying to get that job in the NBA eventually.
Yeah.
So he's at his hometown, home school. It'll look bad on the school, not unless he does something really dramatic.
Yeah.
For them to make them fire him or him to quit.
It has to be something really
dramatic.
Like it has to be something like you're taking money from, not even
right.
You can take.
They already got a question about the money thing and taking care of players. You remember he had an interview about that.
Mm-hmm. With James
what's
Wise.
wrong?
Yeah.
I understand what's going on with making sure that the kid is fine. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the university feels that we're already giving them like what they need, which is an education, room and board, and food.
Oh, that's what they feel.
Yeah,
that's why they got NILs
now.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these kids you're making so much money just to play in games, in certain games. You know what I mean? So how can you be mad if a coach or players are receiving something to help? I'll say if it was being used illegally, something like that. But for them to be able to help them in any kind of way, not just the education, because sometimes education ain't with these kids really. Shit. Yeah, excuse my language. Ben Simmons. Right after that tournament, he dropped out of school. He knew what he was there
Literally.
for. They knew what so that tells me he didn't do no work all year long in the first place. But they passed him.
Man. I mean, I'm sure he had his little, some little groupies.
He went to class.
He went to class.
But
hey,
then,
guys, it's Ben Simmons. A person. Hey, Ben.
Good he sat in the back of the class like this with his phone.
Just like this.
Yep.
And they asked Ben a question. You know what they do? He did the typical Martin Luther King High School response. Ben, we're doing we're doing English literature and we're practicing we're doing Shakespeare. Do you know any lines from Shakespeare? Huh? He looked up and like, we're about to get into groups. Ben, huh? All right.
You know, you already know. In college, you can walk out, so it don't even matter to you. Like,
yo,
group in. All right, I'm out.
When I first learned how to do this, he's like, yo, you can get up and just walk out. You know that, right? I was like, for real? I mean, it makes the professor look bad, but
you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, man. That's classic. Also, I just want to highlight also some of the other schools in Philadelphia. Villanova Temple of Rolling. Damian Dunn he keeps hitting key shots. I think they have a shot to get to the tournament as long as they play their cards right in the A10. What they do have to do for Temple, somebody has to beat Davison. Because
Steph Curry put them boys on the map and they ain't been off the TV since.
That's right. Oh, and when you hear this tone, the Clippers are up at the end of the third quarter, 84-76. Boom, boom.
Bing, bong.
Bing, bong. Also, LaSalle to get there. LaSalle getting there. And some of those other schools like LaSalle, Penn, they have a little bit of work to do, but I see good things happening for them as well. Let's see. Other than that, man. Oh, you know what? Also, too, man. Before we get out of here, I definitely want to, give a shout out to Keith G and the G family. I saw on Facebook. It was an awesome piece from. I'm gonna shout them out too. It's actually Northeast. Is it Northeast Quarter?
Northeast Quarter. Yeah.
.com.
Yep.
And they
nice
did
piece on my guy's son.
Yeah.
So shout out
to
shout out to my other guy's son, Lil Keith, and my other guy's son, Jalen, who had senior day at Ryan the other day. I'm sorry I couldn't make it due to this inclement weather and stuff. I was gonna try to make it down there, but shout out to them and all the rest of the kids that I call nephews and nieces throughout the publicly and Catholicly through Philadelphia that I've had relationships with. But that's definitely a big shout out to Lil Keith with a little write up. But you can read it, whatever you want.
It's on Facebook. Yeah, but definitely if you need to find it, it's on northeastquarterhoops.com. I loved it, man. It was a really good breakdown.
Very him.
Yeah,
it was very him.
Yes,
it was crazy. It was very him. And the one thing, my pet peeve with him and with Jalen is they don't shoot enough. And players like him, like them, not say him, but them in general, all throughout United States or Philly, whatever you want to call it. Those players don't get the looks that the guys that's putting up 24, 30 a game because it's about points. The kids that play the right way by getting other kids involved and, doing the other little things, it goes under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be just as talented as those kids that's getting that popularity.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and it goes for a lot of kids that we know that plays the right way or plays team basketball opposed to having the 30 points here and 28 points here. They'll get their 12 or they'll get their 8, but they have 8 and 10 or 8 and 5 and you know what I mean? But that's not saying that they can't get more. It's just that they just doing what the team is asked of them.
Exactly.
So
and they get wins, just like the great win against Springside Chestnut Hill. That was a great game.
It was a good game.
And I also want to say, man, northeastquarterhoops.com, a great breakdown, and keep up the good work, little Keith. And also, I gotta highlight his dad too. because his dad was a hooper too.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. I gotta highlight
My
him.
BF,
he was a hooper too.
Bro. He was a hooper. He was a shooter. He could jump. He could do all that. Keith G.
Yep.
Shout out to my bro.
His name. Give him
Keith
some name
G.
now.
Keith Rez G.
Got it.
And also, anybody, in the Philly area, of course, Keith has his own barbershop, Rez Creative Cut, 1611 East Wadsworth Avenue.
That's right.
If y'all ever looking to get your hair cut, looking for somebody to get, that Sharpie, holla at him, got my guy Mark, Haru,
right. If you want to,
who else is there? Jeff.
Oh, yes.
Who else is in there cutting? Frank.
Yep.
In there cutting and
Frank,
stuff.
Frank's a sloppy barber. I don't know why.
That was the beautician up in there. But 1611 East Wadsworth Avenue.
That's right.
That's in the Mount Airy area of Philadelphia. Nice environment. You can have that basketball talk. There's always shop talk in there. We always have it in there when we're in there, having it, kicking it, jokes and giggles, all but love and fun. It's like a family atmosphere. So if you have your kids that's looking, like I said, Rez Creative Cuts, 1611 East Wadsworth Avenue, right directly across the street from CVS.
That's right. But I have to warn you, though. If you're not like a Sixers or Philadelphia Eagles fan or something like that, there's a lot of Sixers and Eagles millionaire.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely. He does overdo it. He did overdo it. But that's his team, that's what but it used to be worse. We used to have the plaques on the walls and everything up in there, you know what I mean?
I remember last time when my brother gets a cut in there too all the time. Shout out to Kyle. And I remember when the Colts, because he's a Colts fan. I remember when they lost the Super Bowl that year. The barbershop got together and got to do the sympathy card, Joe.
Oh, we rode in that junk. That was the good old days, man. We used to joke on all our clients and stuff like that.
Shout out to Reds.
That was fun. It's like I said, it was always a family atmosphere in the barbershop when I was working in there as well, because I cut hair as well. When we used everybody from the old heads to the young people to the kids the young adults that was our age, it's always been fun. People walk in there, they don't even get cuts. They'll come in, sit in there, start talking trash, and then leave. We had old heads that put their head in the door, say something, and then roll out. Then they spark the whole conversation throughout the whole barbershop, man. But that was love, man. Like I said, my guy Sean Reagan, he's a Green Bay fan. He come in there and he start talking his trash, and you just be like, "Oh gosh, come on, bro." You're the only Green Bay fan in Philadelphia, like literally. At least as a Cowboys fan, I can say there's plenty of us. But for you,
who's a
Green Bay fan? Is a Green Bay fan?
Yeah, who's a Green Bay fan?
Yeah, but with that being said, good luck to the teams in the NFC and the AFC Championship games today. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast live stream, I like to see something different. So Cincinnati and San Francisco, or Cincinnati and Rams. It don't even matter between those two, because neither one of them has won anything lately. But it's just more of me don't want to see Kansas City in there again, I guess. And I like Joe Burrow and Chase. So with that being said, those who have fans of those teams that are in particular, San Francisco in particular, my cousin Dre, Charlie, Mark Freckles, Trey, rest in peace, and Smack. Those are the people I can think of right off the bat that are San Francisco fans.
Okay.
Far as Rams fans, I can't think of nobody that I know that's actually a Rams fan.
Yeah, I never met a Rams fan.
No, Cincinnati definitely.
I've never met a Cincinnati fan.
Now, some of these Cincinnati fans pop up out of the blue. We know what's happening, what's going on.
Yeah,
but
now I've had
when we played Tecmo Bowl, you had the Icky Woods thing. Woods. Yeah, everybody wanted to play with Icky Woods or Bo Jackson and the Raiders and stuff.
Right.
But other than that, the Kansas City, there's a bunch of new Kansas City fans. But shout out to y'all. I don't think I know anybody that's.
I used to use Tecmo Bowl, since you want to go back to the Tecmo Bowl.
What, Joe Montana, Kansas City?
No, I used to use Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye.
Yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah. He used to just run people. Him, man, like I said, Icky Woods and him and Bo Jackson, you couldn't stop none of them. Neither one of those three.
Shout out to Icky, man.
You know what I'm saying? He still was doing the shuffle at the last game. At the beginning of the game, he had the pregame. He was outside doing the shuffle and stuff. Yeah, Icky still can move a little bit. But shout out to those teams that are in the championship games today. Mm-hmm. If not today, maybe tomorrow evening we'll go live and talk about those games.
Yeah, please.
More than likely probably tomorrow, because tonight it's going to be. Never know. Yeah. We might just jump on. If not, we'll definitely do something for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
And big shout out to
February. Want to be February like tomorrow or something like that? Today's the 30th.
Today is the 30th. Yes, today is the 30th.
Okay, so tomorrow will be the 31st. Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah. So we're jumping into jump into a little bit more NFL talk tomorrow or the day after, whatever the case may be. Then we start jumping to All-Star talk. All-Star games coming up in a couple of weeks. So we're on it.
Yeah, we're on it. So from us in the basement with Next Step in K.
Yeah,
we thank y'all for tuning in. For those who tuned in and our future viewers.
Any parting shots?
You know what I'm saying? So parting shots. I'm just shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? My family, friends, close friends. My boy K, who's on here with me. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you greatly. That's why I wanted you on here with me. We grew up, whatever. But like I said, this podcast live stream is just mainly just to open up doors, to give opportunities for others to get on. And I have the time and I had the opportunity to do something different. And so this is just something as long as I grow, we grow. Because this is not just about me, it's about us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it starts from the bottom. I took a long time just to get to this point, just to start jumping on the live stream. But now I'm just going to be just doing it, whether how many views it gets or not, But this is all about having fun, debates, and all that stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? We'll be doing sponsorships. So if we can start doing, if you have a business that you want us to shout out, we'll be able to post that, show a little, little commercial for it, and much more. So we in the mix of doing a whole bunch of stuff. But okay.
Before I get out of here, I definitely want to shout out to my family, Kyle, Trent, Sam, I am, Dad. Shout out to the AKAs up there. Trent, you know who you are. My man Scoop at Valley Sports and Scoopy Radio, who I work for and intern for at Valley Sports. My man Mike Piercy, my other co-host on the 18 podcast. My homeboy Ron the Barber. We're going to get you on here soon, too. Also, Dr. Jason and Kyle of the Black Psychologist Podcast. That's Kyle. Kyle's my brother, Dr. Kyle. And my man Javelle, a.k.a. Guido. And I got to say this, Guido, styles make fights, because that's your favorite quote, so I got to represent you. So, man, just thank you. If I missed you, just let me know so I can put you on the next one. And, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Once again, man, it's been a great 2 hours.
Yes, sir. It's 3 o'clock. These games about to start. So, let's get up on out of here. It was a good show. Like I said, this is only the second episode that we've done. As we grow, we're going to just continue to just make things happen.
That's right.
So I'll talk to you later on, and we'll see y'all on the next show, next podcast. We look forward to hearing y'all. All right, in the basement with Next Step in K. Holla.